What's up everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. So this is part 2 of my YouTube channel series for how I became an esthetician and a lash artist. What a wonderful So my previous video, if you guys didn't see it, I'll have it either linked below or somewhere on the screen, but if you haven't seen part 1 to this, then go watch that one first because I talk about everything I was doing before I became an esthetician, enrolling in school, my plans, just like how I kind of started everything, and all the way up till state board. So I talk about all of that stuff. Really good information in that video, so go check it out. I'm going to be talking about how I transitioned from school to my own office. So I had my state board test on October 10th, 2019, and I passed. I got my esthetician license and I started my lash extension business. After I got my license in October, I think it was about 2 weeks later, I got my first office. I was on the hunt for an office. I had a little studio in my house, but I did not want to work from home. For me, I work a lot better when I have somewhere to go and I have like my own office. That's just always what I wanted. I never really saw myself working from home. So right after I got my state board license in October, I did not have a studio yet, so I was still on the hunt for a studio. I was all over LoopNet looking for places. I was talking to other lash artists and friends and just seeing if anybody knew anyone who was renting out a space. There were a lot of options on LoopNet. It was just way too expensive for me at the time and it wasn't something I was ready to afford, so I didn't really find anything there on my price range. After I got my license, my mom went to the dentist and my mom was telling the receptionist about like what I was doing, that I just got my license, I'm looking for a studio to do my lashes. And the receptionist was like, oh my god, I actually know someone who has like a little studio and they're looking for someone to rent it out just like month to month. And my mom came home and told me that and I was like, oh my god, I need to go see this place, like this might be it. So I think she ended up reaching out to me and was like, hey Amanda, I got your number, like the place is still available if you want to come tour it. And I was like, sure, like let's do it. So I set up a tour with her. Me and my mom go over and it was only like 15 minutes from my house. It was super convenient and that's kind of like what I was looking for. It was pretty much perfect. So we go over and tour the place. The lady that was renting it out was an esthetician and she did facials. So she had like pretty much 2 rooms and she had like a door connecting them. So the room she was looking to rent out was currently like her reception room and then she had her treatment room. So she was looking to rent out the reception room so that I could turn it into my treatment room. So we would basically just each have our own rooms to do our work. So we weren't like sharing a room or working on top of each other. We weren't in the same room. It was really nice because it was my own like private office. I ended up texting her a few hours after and I said, hey, like I have a really good feeling about this. I really like the space. I would love to rent it for you if you would like to have me. She was also gonna show other girls, but she ended up telling me that she really liked me too. She had a good feeling and vibe about everything, so she wanted me to rent it out. So I got my license October 10th and literally 2 weeks later I got the studio. So I was super excited. I got it for $450 and I was paying month to month. And I was doing a sublease through her. I feel like this transition was really good for me because I was doing a sublease. I didn't have a lot of like, I wasn't tied into anything. Like I was on month to month rent. I was only paying $450 a month and we worked around each other. So the lady that I was renting from, she did facials and basically like the walls in that place were super thin and she did like Reiki. So it's more of like a spiritual like vibey thing. I don't really know much about it. You just want it to be very peaceful. So I guess the clients, like when they get Reiki done, I guess you like vent or you like talk about stuff. It could be like some sort of therapy session. I don't really know. But basically the walls are really thin so we could hear each other if we were in there at the same time. So I respected her like completely and she was like, you know, I'd love to have you here, except the only like big rule that I have is that we work opposite hours, so we're not in the rooms at the same time. And I was like, oh yeah, like I totally understand, that's completely fine, we can do that. So I started there like late October. I was doing my clients, everything was going super well, you know, there was nothing to complain about. So I worked there for about 4 months, I think, and then I got this place. I guess I'll kind of talk to you guys about the reasons why I left. They were just like a a few issues. So since we were sharing hours and we weren't working at the same time, I was very restricted to only a certain amount of hours, and that kind of like didn't let me grow and take on as many clients as I wanted, and I was just looking to expand. So after a few months working there, I was really building up my clientele. I was making more money. I could afford more rent. I was ready to take on more clients because I was growing so much, and I couldn't take any more clients because I had these restricted hours. For example, like Tuesdays and Thursdays, I would work from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. because she would come in from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then I would take a client at 7:30 p.m. and work till like 10 p.m. So because like she was working like 8 hours a day, I had to like either work before her or after her, and I just was always like working around that schedule. So it didn't give me all the time that I wanted to take clients. I was very limited. I could only take like 4 clients a day, where as of now, like I can take as many as I want because I have my own space. So that was one of the reasons why I was kind of looking, wanting to leave, was because of those restrictions. So I guess another issue that kind of happened was she just started like accusing me of things, and my birthday was January 30th and I went out of town for my birthday. I went to Arizona with my boyfriend to visit my dad, and we left on my birthday. So I got to Arizona at like 2 in the morning on the 31st, so the day after my birthday. So we go to bed, wake up, and it's the day after my birthday. Like I told her I was going out of town for my birthday, and like the last text I got from her was like, okay, have fun on your trip, like happy birthday, whatever. So she was aware. So her and I were gonna like trade services. She was gonna do a facial on me. I was like gonna do her lashes. I get out to Arizona and I wake up to like this freaking novel of a text, just pretty much like accusing me of stuff and saying like, hey, I don't think I'm gonna do lashes anymore. I realized that you're also doing facials and I thought you were only doing lashes. I saw all of your facial stuff in your room. I was thinking in my head like, what the hell? Like I don't even do facials. Like all I do are lashes. Like that's my whole Instagram. Like I only promote lashes. I don't do facials. I think I've done facials like twice, and that was at my house, like for a friend. So I had all of this facial stuff in my storage room because I graduated, and you get a kit from school with a shit ton of facial stuff. I had like Dermalogica, I had Image, like all of these skincare supplies. So I guess she thought I was like doing facials because she saw all that stuff, and I was like, no, like I'm not doing facials. I only do lashes. Don't worry, like I am not gonna be a conflict of interest. Like I'm not doing facials. I'm not gonna like take your clients or whatever. So she was like, oh, okay, like I guess we don't have to talk anymore, whatever. So the day after my birthday, she pretty much sent that text just saying like, I think I'm gonna pass on lashes. I wanted us to trade services so that we could refer each other, but it looks like you're doing lashes. When we first met, I was under the impression that you only do lashes, but it looks like you're doing facials. But I was like, no, I'm not doing facials. So I texted her back. I was super nice about it, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry for any like misunderstanding, but I don't do facials. I don't even offer them. I have that equipment in there because when I graduated school, I had all this stuff, and I thought I would just keep it in the storage room rather than put it in my room somewhere, because I still live at home. I only have a bedroom. Like I don't have my own apartment where I can just like put all of my belongings anywhere. So my house at home, I only have my room for storage. So I was like, oh, I'll just leave all of my like school stuff at work. That kind of made sense to me. So and then I told her like, hey, I was actually planning on taking all of this out so I could take all my skincare products and like do my own facials at home. But I just never got around to it because first when I moved in there, it was right after my license, and then it was November, which was Thanksgiving. So we had like family in and everything, and then it was Christmas, so then even more family. So I was just like constantly busy with like family and holidays and all of that stuff. So I never got around to it, but I told her like, hey, I'm actually gonna bring it home. So she was like, okay, cool, like we don't have to talk about it, like I'm not worried about it, whatever. Just like after that, like a few things kept popping up. Let me go through her messages. So then the next thing that happened was, basically to preface everything, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, she would work till 7 p.m. and I would have a client scheduled for 7:30. So I would kind of give her like 30 minutes to, you know, clean up and get out of there so then I could come in and set up and like get ready for my night clients. So there was like, I think 2 times where she was running late and I came in at like 7:15 to set up for my 7:30, and then she was like just finishing up and with her client and then like cleaning up and leaving. She would hear me come in and then I would just be setting up and they would be finishing up and then they would leave. But I mean, that only happened like twice. And then I got a text message from her asking if I could give up my Tuesday nights so that she could like work longer and not, you know, me not overlap with her. So then she would have the whole night just to like finish and take her time. But it was just kind of weird because she was asking me to give up my Tuesday nights. So then I would take away 2 clients because I would take a 7:30 and then I would take a 9 p.m. client. So that was me giving up 2 clients, 2 fills. Like that's like almost $200, you know? So I was like, I don't really want to give up my Tuesday nights unless I can put those 2 appointments somewhere else. So I was like, oh, okay, like if you want me to give up my Tuesday nights, then can I work longer in the morning and you come in a little later, so then you work throughout the night. Like I thought that was fair. So I threw that out there and I was like, hey, like I'd be willing to give up my nights if I can put those 2 clients somewhere else. She was like, no, I can't do that either. I didn't know you would be working this much, blah, blah, blah. We might have to talk about raising the rent and stuff. And I was like, oh, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Like I'm working around your hours. I should be able to work whenever I want. Like that's kind of what we agreed on. So in my head, I was like, well, that doesn't really make any sense. Why would I give up my Tuesday nights and not get to put those clients anywhere else and then pay you more rent? That doesn't make any sense. So then I was just like, whatever, like that doesn't make any sense. And I was like, okay, like I guess you can just have my Tuesdays. So I texted her back and I was like, whatever, you can have my Tuesday. I didn't say whatever, but in my head I was like, whatever, this is stupid. Maybe these are just signs trying to like push me out and start looking for a new office, because she just started throwing weird problems at me and just trying to change things up. And I was like, I'm already like so set in my ways and like I have such a routine. Like, why are you now just wanting to like switch the schedule and like take my Tuesday nights and then charge me more rent than what we agreed on? Like it didn't really make any sense, and it was completely out of nowhere too. So I basically was like, okay, you can have my Tuesday nights starting in March because I'm already booked out for February. So I told her that. Never got a response from her. Like she never said thank you or I appreciate it or like anything. Like she never replied. It was just kind of weird to me. I mean, me giving up my Tuesday nights, or those are 2 slots that I was gonna lose. So I was like, okay, if I give this up, like you could at least say thank you. Like, I don't know, it was just so weird. It just got weirder as time went on. And it was weird too because I never saw her. Like we never saw each other, and which was fine. Like that's kind of how I wanted it to be. Like, you know, I worked my hours, I did my thing, and then I went home, and then she worked her hours and did her own thing, and we never overlapped. I never came in when she did. Like I was very respectful of her time. She actually had to come in when I was working because she messed up her schedule and like scheduled clients on a day that I was working. And she was like, oh no, like I schedule all these clients, like can I come in? And I was like, yeah, I don't care, because like I play music, I talk to my clients, like I don't care about the noise. It was just her that cared about the noise. So I was like, yeah, that's fine, like I don't care. I just thought it bothered you, but I'm still gonna, you know, do my normal routine and all of that. So anyway, never got a response from her, never got like a thank you for giving up your Tuesday nights or anything like that. And I was just like, that is so weird to me. Like I would have said thank you. So then once I got that text, I was pretty annoyed and I was like, you know what? I don't like this. This is just not the way I function. I didn't like the weird random texts that I always got. Like I would just literally get like paragraphs out of nowhere, and I was like, what am I doing wrong? Like I literally don't bother her. I come to the office when it's my turn to work and I go home, and that's all I do. So it's just kind of weird to me. So this was on February 15th. Within 5 days, I got a new office and I moved out. So on February 20th, 5 days later, after I said like, hey, you can have my Tuesday nights, blah, 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 never got a thank you, then she texts me and says like, hey, I got your letter because I gave a notice that I was moving out and leaving. Like, all is good, good luck in your career. I was just like, thanks, whatever. There were like a couple other things, but I don't want to get into all of it. It was just like weird drama, and it just kind of sucked because like I never did anything wrong. I was very respectful of her time, and you just kind of have to like keep your guard up. Just be careful with like who you sublease from or who you rent from. Obviously, like, she wasn't anything like horrible or anything. She just was like accusing me of things, which I didn't appreciate because I was literally doing like nothing wrong. Like, I swear. It was just kind of like annoying and frustrating to me that she was like accusing me of all these things and I never even did anything. And I was like, I'm very chill. Like, I keep to myself. I'm very respectful. I don't cause any problems. Like, I'm very mellow and I keep to myself. That's just how I am. So it was just weird that like she was like throwing all these like accusations at me, and I was like, whatever, this is weird. Like, she also told me that she promotes me to all her clients and that I don't do anything and I don't do any promoting, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I talk to all of my clients about you, but like you wouldn't know that because you're not here. My clients would walk in for the first time and they would be like, oh, what's that door over there? Is that a bathroom? And I'd be like, no, that's actually another esthetician that does facials. And I told them all about it, and I would refer them and give them business cards and like all this stuff. And she was like, you never promote me, and like blah blah blah. And I was like, you know what? I don't have time for this. This is not my job. My job is not to promote you. I don't work for you. Like, I just rent this room from you. That's literally all it was. Like, that's what a sublease is. I literally gave her $450 a month just so I could use that room and nothing else. Like, I wasn't here to like work for her and do all this stuff and blah blah blah, but like out of the kindness of my heart and, you know, as a fellow esthetician, I told all of my clients about her, and I would just hype her up and talk about her. Maybe I wouldn't post her on Instagram, but that doesn't mean I'm not promoting you. So whatever. It was just weird. I was being accused for a lot of things and I didn't appreciate it. So within 5 days, I went on LoopNet. I found a new office. I came and toured it. I signed the lease. I put down a deposit and paid my first month's rent, and the rest is history. This is pretty much where I am now. I found this office on LoopNet. It's $600 a month. It's super affordable for me. It was only an extra $150, so it wasn't too big of a jump from what I was doing before. Now that I'm in this office, I own, or not own it, but I rent this room. It's completely mine. I have access to it 24/7. So this place is a lot better for me to the point where I'm at in my career now. I feel like I did everything pretty well. I made really good transitions. This is something like I wouldn't have jumped to when I first got my license. Like, I feel like it's really good to start small and build your clientele, and once you have like a consistent, loyal clientele, then it's like you can expand your office and your space and all of that stuff. So I'm really happy where I'm at now. I have a lot more freedom and flexibility. I have no restrictions. So my SD card just got full and I can't delete anything off my camera, so I can't finish the video on my camera, but I'm gonna finish it off on my phone really quick. I just wanted to end this really fast. I was pretty much done anyway. So that's pretty much my whole story of how I became an esthetician and a lash artist and where I'm at now. I really hope you guys gained some knowledge, some insight, some guidance with this video. I hope I can be a good mentor for people out there who want to be an esthetician and a lash artist and just don't know where to start. I definitely want to be a person who can help you guys with your journeys and help make your dreams come true. This is all I've ever wanted, and I'm so happy and grateful that, you know, I am where I am today and with my whole business and everything. But I really hope these videos were helpful for you. I hope they kind of inspired you to follow your dreams and just do what you want to do. If you guys have any more questions about anything, please let me know. Leave a comment down below. I'm an open book. I would love to help and talk about anything. So if you guys have any questions or comments, whatever, please leave them down below for me. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. If you want any more videos on anything specific about my journey, or if you just want me to like touch deeper into school or state board or whatever it is, please let me know. I would love to help you guys out. So with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below, and make sure to hit that little bell notification too so you get notified every time I upload a video. I also have another YouTube channel for my personal account. I do a lot of vlogs on there, so if you guys want to follow me, my YouTube name is just Amanda Budd. I'll have everything linked down below. You guys can also follow me on Instagram at Amanda Budd and Lashes with Amanda. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye! Happy lashing!